Ever gotten snacky at 2 a.m.? You know when you're at the office and it's like a ghost town except for the vending machine?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We kind of take them for granted. But have you ever thought about what it takes to keep them running?
I mean, I'm sure there's more to it than meets the eye.
That's what we're diving into today.
Oh, cool.
The world of the vending machine operator.
Okay.
And to help us unpack all of this, we've got some insights straight from RoleCatcher.com.
Sounds good.
They've got a whole career guide for this role, tips on how to nail the interview, even advice on, like, navigating the job market.
Nice.
And I've got to say, some of this stuff was way more interesting than I expected.
Really? Like what?
Well, the day-to-day is more than just, like, keeping things stocked. They make it sound like you're almost like a mind reader or something.
Predicting what people are going to want.
Exactly. Like anticipating demand, planning routes. They even use the phrase master of logistics.
Wow. That's a lot more involved than I thought.
Right. And they talk about customer service too.
Oh, right. Because you'd be the one to deal with if, like, the machine ate your money or something.
Or your favorite chips get stuck.
The worst.
So you're not just restocking, you're like a therapist for hungry people.
Uh-huh. I guess so.
And then there's the tech side of things.
Tech.
Yeah, RoleCatcher mentioned touch screens, cashless systems. It's not just coins and dollar bills anymore.
That's true.
So suddenly you need to be kind of a tech troubleshooter too. It's a lot to juggle.
It sounds like it. So what about moving up in the vending machine world?
That's where it gets interesting. They actually have career stages laid out. You start entry level and can work your way up to get this operations manager.
Whoa, operations manager for, like, a whole vending machine empire.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But is that even realistic, or is it just a sugar rush fantasy? What do you think?
It's a good question. I mean, going from stocking snacks to, like, calling the shots seems like a big leap.
Right. And the guy does say limited career advancement is something to be aware of.
Interesting. So maybe instead of climbing a corporate ladder, it's more about, like, starting your own vending machine kingdom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the guy does mention self-employment as a real option in this field.
Oh, wow. So you could go from managing someone else's machines to, like, curating your own vending machine menus.
Right. Instead of a corner office, you get a fleet of customized vending machines.
That's actually a pretty cool image.
But even empires need solid foundations, right? So let's talk about actually getting hired.
All right, let's hear it.
RoleCatcher had some interview advice that really threw me for a loop.
Okay, like what?
One question was, how would you handle a customer complaint?
I feel like I'd freeze up.
Right. I'd be like, here's your money back.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry your ships got stuck.
But they're getting at something deeper here. It's not just about transactions. It's about problem solving on the spot.
So you have to think on your feet, be good with people.
Be a vending machine whisperer. Okay, this next one really got me. How would you make sure the machine is secure from theft or vandalism?
Whoa, are we talking like booby-tracked candy bars?
Right. I mean, it makes you think about the job in a whole new way.
Yeah.
It's not just about keeping it stocked. It's about protecting the goods.
So you need to be security-minded, too. Interesting.
And resourceful. Like, what would you even do?
I honestly have no idea.
It's tougher than it sounds, right? And then on top of all of that, RoleCatcher is really big on tailoring your resume.
Oh, yeah, you can't just use the same one for every job anymore.
They even have these AI-powered tools to help you customize it, even for a job like this. It's like, do you need to be a tech whiz just to apply for jobs these days?
It seems like it.
So much for thinking this was a simple job.
I know, right? It's way more than meets the eye.
It's like this whole hidden world of logistics, technology, and customer service, all wrapped up in a shiny, snack-filled package.
And maybe a little danger, too, if we're talking about theft and vandalism.
Right. Okay, so maybe we need to rethink this whole vending machine operator thing. It's not just about keeping the chips coming. It's about so much more.
It really is.
But before we get too deep into that, we've got to take a quick break.
Okay.
We'll be back in a flash to unravel more of this vending machine mystery. Don't touch that dial. Or that touchscreen, for that matter.
It really is a whole hidden world. But back to that career path.
Right, that whole operations manager thing.
Do you think people really climb the ladder in the vending machine biz?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
The guy does mention that whole limited career advancement thing.
Right, so maybe not.
So maybe instead of climbing the corporate ladder, it's more like building your own vending machine empire.
Brick by delicious brick.
I like the way you think. And actually, that seems to be the path they're hinting at, because they highlight self-employment as a real possibility in this field.
So you could start with a few machines, maybe on consignment or something.
And then branch out, build your own network. Imagine that, going from restocking to, like, curating your own vending machine menus.
That's kind of a fun thought, like a vending machine sommelier.
Haha, exactly.
But even empires need a solid foundation.
True.
Sorry.
So let's talk about actually landing that vending machine gig. RoleCatcher had some interesting tips on how to stand out in the job market.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
They're big on tailoring your resume.
That makes sense. You can't just be generic anymore.
Right. And they have these AI-powered tools to help you customize it, which just goes to show you, tech is everywhere.
Even when you're applying for a job that involves, like, physically filling a machine with snacks.
It's kind of mind-blowing, right?
It really is. It's like, do you need to be a coding whiz just to get a job stocking Skittles?
It seems excessive. But I guess it proves the point. No matter what the job is, you've got to be able to communicate your skills.
Especially in a way that, like, algorithms can understand.
It's a brave new world out there.
No doubt. But hey, maybe those AI tools can help you write a killer cover letter about your passion for peanut M&Ms.
Maybe. Okay, but on a more serious note, I think this whole deep dive has really revealed some bigger truths about work in general, you know?
Totally. It's like this seemingly simple job is actually a microcosm of the entire working world.
Right. We're talking about technology, adaptability. We even talk about customer service and conflict resolution.
Which, by the way, made me think about those interview questions again. Like, how do you deal with a customer complaint when it's just you, them, and a broken vending machine at 2 a.m.?
It's high pressure.
Seriously. And probably a little hangry.
For both of you.
Exactly. So what do? Do you just, like, start handing out free snacks?
That's what I would do.
Right. But then you have to think about inventory and profit margins.
It's a slippery slope. But seriously, RoleCatcher was getting at something with those questions. It's about problem solving, staying calm under pressure.
And maybe having a stash of emergency snacks on hand.
Always a good idea.
But I think it goes even deeper than that. We're in a world where technology is changing everything so fast.
And the job market is trying to keep up.
Exactly. So learning how to adapt, how to troubleshoot, those are skills that will never go out of style.
No matter what industry you're in.
Exactly. Whether you're fixing a vending machine or, like, designing the next smartphone app.
So maybe those vending machine operators are onto something.
Maybe they're the real pioneers. But speaking of pioneers, let's shift gears for a sec. The guide mentioned how the vending machine industry itself is evolving.
Oh, right. Like how?
Well, for one thing, they're not just about sugary snacks and soda anymore.
You mean like healthy vending machines? I've seen those.
Exactly. And it goes way beyond that. Think electronics, high-end beauty products, even locally sourced produce.
Whoa, really? So you're saying vending machines are becoming like mini boutiques?
Basically, it's all about catering to specific needs and demographics.
So a vending machine at a gym is going to have a very different vibe than one at an art museum.
Exactly. And I think that's what's so interesting about this whole industry. It's constantly adapting to consumer preferences.
And probably creating new ones, too.
Totally. But all this evolution begs the question, what about the people in this industry? Will we even need vending machine operators in the future?
Well, that's a good question. Are robots going to take over the snack game?
Right. Will we all be getting our chips and candy bars from, like, robot arms?
I kind of hope so.
It's a possibility. But seriously, it's something to consider. As technology advances, it's inevitable that some tasks will become automated.
So fewer humans, more machines.
Maybe. But even with all the tech in the world, there's still something to be said for the human touch.
Like knowing which brand of gummy bears is your favorite.
Exactly. Or being able to offer a friendly face when your dollar gets stuck.
Or having the inside scoop on the best new snacks.
Right. So yeah, the role of the vending machine operator might change.
But it won't disappear entirely.
I don't think so. It's all about adapting, right? Learning new skills, embracing new technologies.
And maybe even learning how to program a robot to refill the Cheez-Its.
Exactly. It's tough to say, really. I think it depends on what you're looking for in a career.
True. It's not like a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
Right. But it's definitely a job where you can learn a lot. Like, you wouldn't think customer service would be such a big part of it.
Right. It's not just about restocking. It's about, like, being the face of the vending machine.
Exactly. And problem-solving skills, too. Figuring out why a machine isn't working right.
And those skills are useful no matter what you do, right?
Totally. Plus, you get to be the one who brings the snacks.
There's a certain magic to that, I have to admit. But speaking of magic, this whole industry is changing so fast. It's kind of magical in itself. What's the one thing you think someone needs to be successful in the vending machine world, like moving forward?
Adapt. That's it. You've got to be ready for anything. New tech, new trends, new locations.
Be like a vending machine chameleon, blending in, switching it up.
Exactly. And never underestimate the power of connections. Building relationships with clients, suppliers, other operators.
It's like that old saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly. You never know what doors might open when you've got a strong network.
And a good stash of snacks.
Always.
Well, I think we've officially emptied out the vending machine of knowledge for today.
You really covered it all. From stuck spirals to robot overlords.
Don't forget the live lobsters.
Oh, yeah. See, who knew there was so much to learn about vending machines?
Not me. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. It's been an adventure.
Anytime. I'm always up for exploring these hidden career paths.
And to all our listeners, we hope this episode has given you a newfound appreciation for the humble vending machine. Until next time, stay curious.